live? Am I getting levels? That's the big question. Are levels being gotten? Hello, hello, hello. Yes, levels are being gotten. Hi, guys. Ellery, yes, I'm only late if it's more than 20 minutes past the schedule. Well, see, every single time somebody spams banana emoji into the chat, that makes me late by like another 30 seconds, so it's just the law. How's everybody doing? Noah, hi! Missed you the past couple streams. How are you guys doing? You guys are getting some... I think all of the Southeast is getting a lot of rain, but you guys are getting some pretty terrible weather. Modern Day Velma. I talked my whole family into doing a family Mystery Incorporated costume because I really wanted to be Modern Day Velma. It's just the law. Yup. I have no idea why we're talking about Baby Shark. It just makes me think of when, oh my god, we already have 15 concurrents. Hi guys, you guys really like Scooby Doo? This might be a very popular series. Hello all. Hey Ruse Rebellion. Hey Pizza. Just makes me think of the time that it was like a week, not even, after Ludwig signed on with YouTube, and then he got kicked off his own stream because he was watching Baby Shark. Yeah, that was pretty funny. So yeah, how is everybody doing? Okay, so let me do that, because we haven't done a reading stream in a while, and this is... Gosh, I can't even reach. I have such short little arms. Oh yeah, Nightbot's taking no prisoners tonight. Sorry, Noah. Having a hard time working and focusing. Oh no. No, I totally get it. I totally get it. It's like when I know some of you work well to stream, and I'm like, I hope we're not distracting you. Yeah, unfortunately, if I keep catching people spamming, I'm gonna just have to put some people on a 2-week ban. It's just the way that it is. But hopefully I won't have to. But I will. Scooby says ruh-roh, Shaggy says zoinks, Daphne says cheapers, Velma says cheeky, Fred says fuck! Yeah. Oh. Oh yeah, no. I try to be a very level-headed person, but eventually, I turn into the... What does the Cameron say? Oh my god, I have my hair is so lumpy. Was anybody... I don't know if it happened on stream, but 2 nights ago... Or not 2 nights ago. No, it was last night. It was with Maddie. I had my hair back in one of those, like, clear elastic things. Hey, Danielle. Yay! I wasn't here on time. It's okay. But I had my hair up last night in one of those elastic things, and because I have so much hair, I thought it would come down, but I didn't realize it was going to just snap and fly off, and that happened, I think it happened right before we logged on. I don't think it got caught on stream, which is unfortunate, because it was very funny. Oh my god, my hair is a mess. Ignore my hair today. Animated shows in the 90s were the best. You're gonna like the new video. It's a Sailor Moon video. It should have been out already, but it, alas, has not, because I can't get my anything together today. And also because my computer is just... YouTube is just taking a long time to process it. But it should be up by the end of this stream. I think Fred's catchphrase would be, let's split up, gang. Yeah, that's his catchphrase. Fred is the boring jock next door of Christian mom's dreams. He really is, bless him. I'm glad that he gets to have more of a character arc in Mystery Incorporated, because he's not a bad character. He just is, he gets no character development most of the time. So yeah, so this is what we're doing. I went on eBay, which is something that I should apparently never do. Or maybe I should do it more. But basically... there were these books. I don't know if anybody had these. They're like middle grade chapter books. They're only like 70 pages a piece. Some are slightly less. And they are Scooby Doo and You a Collect the Clues mystery series. Basically, they are mystery stories about the Scooby Doo gang where you are supposed to be able to solve the case along with the crew. I do not remember anything about them other than that was the plot point. And also this was basically like Scooby Doo fan fiction in the way of like, we are self-inserted into this book. Like they don't use like YN obviously, but it's like you sit down at the coffee shop with the Mystery Inc. gang. I remember that too. I remember that there was a thing with, like it would be like, okay, let's meet up with all of our friends and hear about their latest mystery. And I would like mentally rewrite it to be like, no. We're going to go and talk about the mystery that we solved together because if all of my friends are the Mystery Inc. gang, we're all going to be there together. I have insanely thick hair and need to use heavy-duty scrunchies. My hair is too short right now, but soon it will be long enough because normal hair elastics just don't work. Yeah, when I knew as soon as I pulled it back right before I got on stream an elastic, I was like, that's not gonna work. But then I didn't realize how spectacularly it wasn't gonna work. So I went on eBay and I found pretty cheap. Somebody was trying to get rid of their, I guess probably their kids' collection of like 24 of these. So now I have them. They're all up here. And I figured we'd read one tonight with the intention of doing a series of streams to read through these because they are truly an obscure piece of Scooby-Doo media that I just never hear anybody talk about, even in Scooby-Doo circles. And also, ooh, fancy top-down camera. Let me see if I can get the fancy top-down camera. Fancy top-down camera. Yay! A fancy top-down camera because then everybody can see all the cute illustrations. Look at how cute this is. I'm so excited. Hey, Jay. Camera angles. Almost professional. Thank you. I'm in my pajamas technically because that's the way that I roll. This is not... I was so proud of myself when I figured out how to do this on live, and then I got off live and my brother was like, you know that it was like completely cutting off the top of the frame. I was like, no, but it's fine. I'm still proud of myself. I figured it out. It is not black coffee. It is Coke Zero. I've been running on 3 hours of sleep and Adderall today, so it's been a day. Go on full cam for a second. But yeah, so that's the plan. Today we are reading The Case of the Terrifying Pterodactyl, and I sure hope Cameron's here because Cameron will appreciate that. Oh yes, so I want to hear Ellery's D&D update before we start. So the D&D update, part 1. We ended the D&D session with our sorcerer rolling initiative against an invisible enemy who broke into her room while the rest of our characters are asleep. Wow. Cameron, I feel like I just summoned Cameron. I was just talking about we're reading the first of, I now own 24 of these middle grade Scooby-Doo mystery books where you're supposed to solve it yourself. They're basically like self-insert fan fiction of the Scooby-Doo universe. And this one's called The Terrifying Pterodactyl, and I knew you'd appreciate that. Yes, just in time. I was low-key disappointed when books stopped having pictures, at least at the start of chapters, like Harry Potter. And yeah. Like this, I think these... No, they have pictures somewhat throughout. Like, they're not picture books, but they're like... They definitely have more than one picture a chapter. Yeah, we always... Ellery, unfortunately, misses Monday streams, but then we know we're going to get really cool updates from D&D, which is fun. Hi, Patrick! Got to see Bullet Train. I thought I'd just say hi. Hi, Patrick! Thank you for saying hi. Let me make sure. This feels... We have 20 concurrents already. This has never happened. I think this is officially more popular than all of the 55 other streams that we've done. I love that. I love this community. Yes, I'm going to read a nostalgic, obscure, and otherwise strange book. I haven't done this since we read the first ever Nancy Drew book, which was 3 streams. And was honestly a lot. Update part 2. Someone took a hit out on the road. And Cleric and their family may or may not also be targeted assassins, but that's only known by most of us. Out of character. Oh no! I'm so worried. Hi, Zikamo! Hope I'm saying your username correctly. Pterodactyl is not the correct word anymore. Really? It's an old term. The correct one is Pterodactylus. Nice. I didn't know that. Not a dinosaur. They're distant cousins. Interesting. I do think I knew that. I do think I knew that they technically weren't dinosaurs. So get ready for this book from... When was this written? It's written in 2001. Yeah, so get ready for this to have just a lot of outdated verbiage, if that's the case, I'm sure. I have not pre-read this, but, you know. Keep it up on the prehistoric lore. I don't know. Yeah, that's why I apparently shouldn't ever log on to eBay, Patrick, because when I do, I buy 24 Scooby Doo books and then like a bunch of Goosebumps books for the collection. My excuse is that it's great stream content. I hate Scooby Doo. I didn't know anybody hated Scooby Doo. Hated the sound effects, even though I told her that it's common. Yeah, I didn't realize anybody hated Scooby Doo. That makes me sad. Hey, Andrew. Update 3, my character cannot be connected to the telepathic communication our party uses because she has an amulet to make her immune to scrying and divination. Ooh. So it's like everybody else is in the group chat, but her. So wait. Officer, you are of, not above the law. Yep. Yep. So these books are during What's New Scooby Doo? I guess so. I guess this was during the, like, push to, like, early 2000s. When did What's New Scooby Doo start? Did it start as early as 2001? This definitely was part of the, like, let's revitalize Scooby Doo for the 2000s. Which was a big part of a lot of people my age being into Scooby Doo, I think. Although I grew up with a lot of Scooby Doo on Boomerang, like, from the 70s, like the original Scooby Doo. Only had one channel on her TV as a kid, and she would watch Scooby Doo every day after school. That's so cute. What's New Scooby Doo? Coming after you. Yes, it's such a bop of a theme song. I love it so much. Cannot afford to take off the amulet because she's actively being hunted by monster hunters, so she has a recap from the sorcerer. Seriously, if you guys go through with writing this, like in a novelized form, I so desperately want to read it. I'm so invested. When I was in theater a few weeks back, 2 of the guys were giggling and doing impressions of Shaggy. Zoink, Scoo. I mean, yeah, Shaggy definitely is into special brownies, for sure. Oh yeah, the other thing I really like about these books is because they're only 60 to 70 pages, perfect for stream. If you guys remember the Nancy Drew streams where it took us 3 streams to get through one Nancy Drew book, these are 1 stream books, which I like a lot. Action Scooby Doo film, largely part of my childhood. Yeah, same. I used to watch it over and over and over again. Yeah, Where Are You has an iconic theme song, too. We'll 100% send you a copy if we get our table to okay the novelization. I would absolutely adore that. I love Mystery Incorporated, but I find it a little low-key, a little strange how none of the characters... I mean, I've never thought about that, but now that's all I'm going to see. Don't have any whites in their eyes. I've been aware about the live-action movie of Scooby-Doo and even some YTV collabs before. Yeah. Yeah. The live-action movie is a lot, but it's fun. What's your opinion on Scrappy Doo? I keep hearing that people despise him, even though first live-action movie I never understood. So I never despised him as a kid. I guess I get it. What I didn't like was when, like, I didn't like when it was... I think part of the dislike for Scrappy comes from the fact that usually when we see him, the rest of the gang is not there. Hey, Alex. Yeah, because, like, Scrappy was usually utilized in the ones where, like, it was just Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy. Not all the time, but a lot, and I think that was why I didn't like that particular run of cartoons, because I liked when the whole gang was together. One person at our table that's going to be hard to convince. Oh, the one holdout. Mother hates Shaggy the most. Oh, I love Shaggy. I convinced my brother to be Shaggy in our Scooby Doo costume. Hex Girl stand. Yes, we stand Hex Girls in this house. Chapney for the win. I don't think I realized that's not a ship that I've ever thought about before, actually. Yeah, I don't like Scrappy when he's a replacement. Hey, Fourth Doctor. We have a whole gang here. Alright, let's get started. I have not pre-read this. I do not remember anything other than the general setup, and that it's basically self-insert fanfiction. In the family-friendly way. People hated Scrappy's voice mixed with his overly fearless attitude. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, I think there's a part of me that understands Scrappy because he's so, like, small and just irritable sometimes. Turner Jenkins, this is cool, bye. Thanks, bye. Batman and Scooby-Doo, yes. Hex Girls redesign in Mystery Incorporated is kind of underrated. I don't think I've seen what they look like in Mystery Incorporated because I haven't seen that much of it. Very excited. Like ships passing in the night. Okay. This is weird too. I don't even have to wear my headphones because like I don't have any sound coming from the computer tonight. 13 Ghosts was good. I don't remember much of it, but I remember liking it. A main villain in live action movies. Yeah, it was originally... So the main villain was originally going to be played by Tim Curry. He was signed on, and he was very, very attached to that role. And then, because he's worked on other... He's done voice... Like, he voiced in Witch's Ghost, and he's done other Scooby-Doo work. And then when he found out that the twist was that his character was going to be Scrappy-Doo, he was so upset that he backed out of the role. And they got Rowan Atkins, which I find hilarious to this day. Crossover with the Addams Family was fun. I need to start covering more of those like 80s TV movies where they cross over with everybody. That would be super fun. Mystery Incorporated. Everybody's recommended continuing watching Mystery Incorporated, and I need to, for real. Who is this actually written by? Jenny Marcus. Shout out to Jenny Marcus. All right. This is the first time you actually utilizing the top-down camera for reading. So let's hope this goes well. Yeah, he voiced Ben Ravencroft in Witch's Ghost. Loki had a crush on Ben Ravencroft in Witch's Ghost. I think I did too. I think I low-key had a crush on like most of Tim Curry's characters, thinking back. I know, and he's like, yeah, and he's come such a long way, and I think he's such a great dude. We stand Tim Curry in this house. No, Hutchins, he looks like Markiplier in a way. Why does every animated character look like Markiplier? Because now that's what I'm gonna see. So yeah, we have this cover. I was gonna incorporate this cover in the thumbnail, but I see that whatever I did with the thumbnail, it obviously worked. I went for a very in-your-face approach with that thumbnail, and apparently it did work. Thank you, guys. His voice is like dark chocolate. He has such a cool voice, yeah. Old Scooby-Doo movies. Yep, memories. All right, Scooby-Doo and you. Collect the clues mystery. I was, like, compulsively tracing, because I'm like that. Case of the Terrifying Pterodactyl. Sorry. Let's take a drink every time they use the wrong verbiage for pterodactylus. I'm not drinking alcohol, but feel free to drink whatever you want. Oh, Matthew Lillard is a great Shaggy. Like, Casey Kasem was iconic too, but Matthew is a great Shaggy. He was born for that role. The concierge from Home Alone 2. He's my favorite part of Home Alone 2. He's the main reason why I always say Home Alone 2 is the better of the two. I mean, there are other reasons why I think it's the better of the two, but yeah. Miller would scream in his car. Get the Shaggy voice, and that's funny. So that is funny. Hoping didn't do any permanent damage. Kool-Aid as a substitute for beer, very, very fair. Casey Kasem will always be Shaggy. Yeah. Yeah, he's the original for sure. There's no replacing Casey. All right. Let's see. We are starting out. Maybe I should turn off. Oh, hang on. I'm going to turn off the top light because I'm worried about glare not allowing people to see the illustration. I don't know if that'll make too much of a difference, but it might. It might make a difference. I remember we were having a slight glare when we were playing a Series of Unfortunate Events video game. Not video game. Tabletop game. There you go. That's what that is. We did a drinking game with the 2019 version of Cats, and that went wild. Oh, I'm sure. I can only imagine. All right, so we're starting at Bob and Larry's ice cream shop. Bob and Larry, I'm headcanoning that the mascots for this ice cream shop are Bob and Larry from VeggieTales. I don't remember ever picking up on that. I've never read the Cheetah Girls books. So yeah, so we're all here with the gang. Everybody's sitting down eating ice cream at Bob and Larry's shop. Yeah, I'm going to assume that it's a VeggieTales reference. Zoinks! 38 flavors. Like, am I dreaming? Shaggy's eyes are huge as he gazes at the colorful sign over the counter. He gives himself a pinch. Nope, I'm definitely awake. Cool. Now the only thing to decide is where to start. He strokes his chin. What do you think, Scooby? Scooby licks his lips. He doesn't say a word. He just starts pointing at the tubs of ice cream arrayed behind the glass. I mean, dogs shouldn't really say words, but, you know. Chocolate Praline Supreme, asks the boy at the counter, but he's Scooby Doo, so of course he does. Sure. He scoops up a big mound of that flavor. Oh, and peach cobbler, too. Excellent choice. These are not what I would choose, but again, allergic, sorry. Color commentary. Scooby keeps pointing, and the boy keeps scooping. Finally, he hands over the cone. Scooby closes his eyes and smiles. Ranks! I can't do the Scooby voice. He says as he begins to lick. Great idea, pal, Shaggy says. I'll have what he's having, he tells the boy. The boy sighs, rolls up his sleeves, and starts scooping again. You exchange a look and a smile with Fred, Velma, and Daphne. You've met your friends at the ice cream shop, so you can hear about the latest mystery they solved. We solved. I'm retconning this as we go. Shaggy and Scooby sit down at the table. Both of them carry a towering cone. You both check the menu and decide on a strawberry shortcake cone. So tell me about this mystery and the Dinosaur Museum, you say. We went way, way back in time for this one, Velma says. At least it felt that way. Those dinosaur bones were the oldest thing I ever saw. Big bones, Scooby says. My voice just cracked. True, Shaggy agrees. It would take years to bury one of those in the backyard, wouldn't it, Scoob? Scooby nods. Roulette, he says. But it won't take you years to solve this mystery, Velma says. Not if you use our clue keeper. I took all the notes this time. Everything you'll need is in there. From suspects to clues, watch out for the eyes logo. So you'll know who the suspects are. So it's us giving a suspect the side eye. And when you see the flashlight, you'll know you found a clue. If you pay attention and take good notes in your own clue keeper, you won't have any trouble solving the mystery, Daphne says. But, like, you'll need to keep your strength up, Shaggy says. How about another scoop of ice cream? He and Scooby have already finished their giant cone. Shaggy rubs his full tummy. You two have appetites like Tyrannosaurus Rex, Daphne says, giggling. Scooby raised his paws, makes a scary face, and gives a huge roar. Yikes, Scooby-saurus, says Shaggy. Everybody laughs. Did everybody laugh? You finish your cone, wipe your hands, and pick up the clue keeper. It's time to check out the prehistoric mystery. You turn to the case of the terrifying pterodactyl. Prelude over. Oh my gosh. Hang on. I need to catch up on chat now. Oh my gosh. This is bringing back so many memories. I don't know if anybody else remember these. I literally won the summer reading program at the library one year because of these, because I read like a bunch of them in like a week. Yeah, super great. Yeah, Bob and Larry's, what is it called? It's literally Bob and Larry's, right? Bob and Larry's ice cream shop. That's literally what it is. Was there ever a Choose Your Own Adventure storybook for Scooby Doo? Not that I'm aware of. I think they should write that, though. I had a Batman Choose Your Own storybook as a kid. I would love to find some Choose Your Own Adventures. I have up here, and these are also going to be reading streams, Goosebumps, Give Yourself Goosebumps, which are basically just Choose Your Own Adventures with Goosebumps. Oh, for a second, I thought you couldn't see me pointing, but then I remembered I'm up in the corner. Yay! Avery's Story Corner? We sure can. Welcome to the Story Corner. Bob later dumped Larry with his long torch. Oh, Bob and Larry. I actually do. For as much as I usually hate religious-based media, VeggieTales was pretty funny. I think the fact that we could all agree on that says something about it. M is a throwback. Bob is the villain. Bob and Larry sounds like knockoff Ben and Jerry. It probably is, but the first thing I thought was VeggieTales, and that makes me laugh. They no longer ID. They still ID me at the movies, and it annoys me every time. Bet there'll be a tease of Fred and Daphne's relationship. Oh, doubt there'll be. Probably. Kids don't care. I don't think kids care about Fred and Daphne dating. I really don't. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. So yeah. So, God. I like how it says, if you pay attention and take good notes in my own clue keeper. Should I start my own? Should I get my notes out? Like my notepad from like when I... like from when we play all the adventure games? Should I keep a clue keeper? Larry. Larry Boy was my personal favorite. I think when I finally do cover VeggieTales, which was going to be the 200th video, but now I've done like way too much. Our handy dandy notebook? Yeah. I think because I've covered two Christian plays back to back, I need a break. So we're not going to get VeggieTales for 200, but we'll get VeggieTales soon. I thought Bob and Larry's was their version of Pop's Chocolate Shop. It probably is. That just make me think of it. Yes, let's Harriet the Spy this story. Ooh, that's another thing that's been on the list forever. I'm getting the notepad. We have a different notepad today. Because my mom brought this back from a hotel that she stayed at and was like, I know that you take a lot of notes on stream. You can use that. And I was like, thank you. Blue's Clues and Scooby Doo. Yes. Yes, this will be our Scooby Doo handy dandy notebook. All right. Can everybody see? Oh, you guys can see me taking notes. You can see how bad my handwriting is. Oh boy, it's real bad today. I don't have to check how to spell. And also, it's the wrong word, so I don't have to feel bad about not knowing how to spell pterodactyl. Pterodactyl. What is the real? What are we supposed to call it? Draw a paw print. Oh gosh. Trying to remember. I wanted it to look like the Blue's Clues paw print, which I cannot remember. I mean, I guess it was just a paw print. Yeah, let's see. Oh boy. I'm making this way more complicated than it needs to be. I'll sign it up here too. Pterodactylus, thank you. Pterodactyl. Us. We're educated up in here. Neater than mine. That's for dang sure. Well, thank you. I mean, I worked very hard. I've worked very hard on it, unfortunately, because I'm left-handed, so everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna have terrible penmanship," and I'm like, "I know, but hey." Oh, okay. Let me read chapter 1 before I hurt myself. Keeper entry number 1. All right, we're headed to the special exhibit. Pterodactyl eggs, and I'm taking a sip because I'm canceling. I mean, I've read the word canceling. I'm counting that. Pterodactyl exhibit has been canceled. Oh, I would love to see a team up of Scooby and Nancy. Littletown Museum of Natural History, said Fred, reading the sign over the door. Fred didn't say anything while we were at the ice cream shop. Poor Fred. Reading the sign over the door of the big granite building we were entering. This looks like a cool place. Like, definitely, Shaggy agreed. They're even serving breakfast. He pointed to a big banner stretched across the entrance. Special exhibit, pterodactyl eggs. I saw Cameron say robe. Robe. Sorry, that almost made me spit. Daphne shook her head. First of all, that's an exhibit, not a meal. Those eggs wouldn't be too fresh anyway. And second, it's been canceled. Cancel culture came for the eggs. She pointed to a sticker across the banner. I think that may have something to do with why we're here, I said. Professor Peabody, the director, sounded pretty upset when he called me. Did I hear my name? A man emerged from the front door. He was dressed in a safari suit and had a big white beard and a mustache. Welcome to my museum. I'm so glad, this is him, I'm so glad you could come. He shook everyone's hand as I introduced the gang, then led us into the museum. Wow, Shaggy said, looking around at the marble. And the ceiling, we're looking around at the great hall we'd entered. Okay, so it's being written from Velma's perspective, so now it just feels like I'm Velma, which is kind of which feels very full circle for me. Wow, Shaggy said, looking around at the great hall we'd entered. The floors were marble, and the ceilings were very high. An enormous dinosaur skeleton loomed over us. This place is awesome, but empty, said Professor Peabody. Sadly, I'm glad you like it, but we need more visitors, or we'll have to shut down. It seems like lots of people, We'd come to see pterodactyl eggs, said Fred. By my count, we're at 5 uses of the word pterodactyl so far. That's what I thought, agreed Professor Peabody. But I didn't have a chance to find out. The eggs were stolen. Stolen, gasped Daphne. Who would do such a thing? The professor shrugged. That's what I hope you can find out. That's what I hope you can figure out. Sorry. What do the eggs look like? I asked. Dr. Sharkey can tell you, the professor said, waving to a man who had just entered the Great Hall. He's the curator here. He's a very esteemed... Oh, so this guy is not a suspect. Interesting. I was very suspicious of this guy, but apparently he's not a suspect. He's a very esteemed paleontologist. That's a kind of scientist who studies dinosaurs, he added. Dr. Sharkey nodded to us. Nice to meet you, he said. He wore a white lab coat, jeans, and black and white... Wait, he wore a white lab coat, jeans, black and white high tops. Okay, I was right. And had messy brown hair that looked as if it hadn't been cut or even combed in a while. How can I help you? Suspect! All right, what's his name? Dr. Sharkey. I'm gonna take some serious notes. Oh my god. Oh boy. Do this with my free hand. Whoop. No, I'm running out of ink. No. Suspect 1. Dr. Sharkey. I wonder why the other guy isn't a suspect. I mean, I guess because he hired us, but, like, that doesn't mean anything. It was Colonel Mustard in the dining room with a pipe. I think you might be right. You can describe those eggs, the professor said. These kids are going to try to help figure out who stole them. Well, well, Dr. Sharkey said. Good luck to you. The eggs look tan and leathery. They are rock hard since they're fossilized. These are the eggs of a pterodactyl, which is a... Oh god, pterosaur? A flying reptile, not a true dinosaur. Ooh, they knew that it wasn't a real dinosaur. Good for them. Suspect number 1. Wah! Do they make good omelets? Joked Shaggy. I'm kind of hungry. Dr. Sharkey didn't laugh. He didn't even smile. Apparently he gave us a stern look. Those eggs are very valuable for scientific study, he said. They should never have been treated as a cheap attention-getting device. As I imagine, and I imagine whoever stole them is far away by now. He nodded to us, turned and walked away. Don't mind Dr. Sharkey, said the professor. He spends most of his time in the laboratory downstairs working on his projects. He forgets how to deal with people sometimes because he practically lives with the dinosaurs. He smiled and rubbed his hands together. Now, first things first, he said. How about a tour? All right. Shaggy's mystery-solving tips. Zoinks! Some of these dinosaur skeletons are almost kind of creepy with their big teeth and huge claws, but, like, this place is cool. I can't wait to look around some more. So did you notice the eyes in this entry? Cool. That means you've met a suspect. So, like, answer these questions. What is the suspect's name? What does the suspect do for a living? And why would the suspect steal the pterodactyl eggs? Like, excellent answers. Let's keep digging for clues so we can solve the mystery before lunch. I only watched Scooby Doo for the relationship of the main 5 and typical tropes. Yeah. Jurassic Park Scooby Doo. Yes. All the crappy Jaws ripoff movies out there. Yup. Dr. Sharkey, more like Dr. Sussy. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think Dr. Sharkey. Yeah, Dr. Sharkey is a suspect because when we met him, we had the eye logo. When we see the eye logo, that means it's a suspect. When we see the flashlight logo, that means it's a clue. Agatha Christie, Sir James. So, somebody sent me this. Apparently, there's a new video game Called something something fight and right or something like that. It's basically like a fighter game, but you play as historical famous authors. And somebody sent me, it's like, this is a real screenshot of, what was it? Sir Arthur Conan Doyle kicking H.P. Lovecraft in the nuts. I thought that was beautiful. Yeah, I'm about to have to get up again to get a new pen. Southpaw 2. Yay! Unite. I never used to meet anybody else besides my brother. My brother and I are both left-handed. I never used to meet anybody else who was left-handed, and now I've met so many of them. Ape Escape from last night. Oh, God. Yeah, we're gonna have to play Ape Escape, aren't we? Your distinct personalities are what make... Yeah, it's what makes it Scooby Doo. And I bet that Dr. Sharky is the villain here. The term most of his time in the laboratory seems pretty suspicious. So here's what I'm gonna do. My mom is left-handed, which sucks because she's a teacher and she has a right-handed desk. Oh no, yeah. I remember being in a youth group and we would have right-handed desks, and anytime I was anywhere with a right-handed desk, I had to do like one of these, and like you have to like rest your elbow like this, and then your back hurts like hell at the end of the day. You know that? And then there were none. Yes, and then there were none used to have a very, very not good title. And then another very, very not good title. Right and Fight. Yes, I saw that people have been sending this to me, and I'm like, oh my god, what does it say? I love, and I'm also concerned that people saw this and immediately thought Avery would need to know about this. But I kind of love that for me. Okay, so what's the suspect's name? Dr. Sharky. I got that much. What does a suspect do? Let's write down occupation. I don't know why I keep trying to hold my place as if I'm going to lose it. It's like a 65-page book. Occupation. What is he? He's a paleontologist, right? Do you like how seriously I'm taking it? Yeah, esteemed paleontologist. I'm going to put esteemed in quotes. Esteemed. I guess it's big enough, but it's clearly meant for a right-handed person. Scooby Doctor Who. Okay, a crossover that needs to happen. Oops. That's not what I meant to write. I'm not going to check how to write paleontologist. I'm going to check. Right. I was just, second guessing myself. I was right. Scooby-Doo eats Blue's Clues. It would be great. Costume or advanced tech? Yeah, do we think it's costume or do we think it's advanced tech? I guess it would be pretty funny if this was a costume, right? Because it's a literal like flying pterodactyl. So that means there's a dude in there, just like caw. Cute art of human Scoob in a detective attire and a little human girl, Blue. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. So the suspect's name, the suspect's occupation, the sus person's occupation. And why would they steal the pterodactyl? He loves science and hates money. Loves science. Hates money. I'm gonna also add, why is chat suspicious? I think that's gonna be an extra. Supernatural canon to either universe. So, well, the only thing I remember about this Scooby Natural was that it explained why they crossed over from never having any real supernatural phenomenon to almost always having, and basically it was Sam and Dean's fault. They brought the monsters into the universe. Expect a D&D bonus update. When the entire D&D Discord goes offline because we're too polite to admit outright we're not interested in someone's idea for a future campaign. That's too real. So I'm going to say that's actually really funny. Oh yeah, paleontology, yes. Yeah, I was actually just watching a thing about, the whole, like, antiquities stuff. It's very shady. It's very shady. You don't expect it to be that shady, but it absolutely is. Right and Fight looks like a sausage fest, unfortunately. No! I was hoping we would get characters like Mary Shelley, Virginia Woolf, and Jane Austen. Oh, I'd love to see Jane Austen kick the shit out of H.P. Lovecraft. So I'm gonna add, because we have suspect, occupation, motive, and then I'm going to add chat notes. We don't trust the guy. Whoops. Always in the lab. just a by the way. The question was drawn to your channel by the Beyond Belief episodes. I would love if we did a watch along with you. See, I would love to do that too, but Beyond Belief, they're very weird they're very territorial when it comes to, like, I get every single one of those videos demonetized. So I feel like they would kick me off stream if I tried to stream them live. As it is, multiple times when I upload the video, what you're seeing is actually a second cut where they said, hey, you can't upload this much because the clip is 7 seconds instead of 5. So I had to, like, go in and, like, trim off a couple seconds here and there so that YouTube didn't freak out, because they're just, protective of their content, which, to be fair, it is a slippery slope, but yeah. That's why we don't do them live. But I will do more videos soon. We need to do video number 10, and it's about to be spooky season, which is perfect for doing some of those. Where's the platypus of dinosaurs? Ooh, weird as hell animal that keeps getting weirder. I love that. Archaeology is just professional grave robbing. Yeah. Professional grave robbers would be a great name for a band if it wasn't also an active problem. I have to head out. Bye, Danielle. Thank you for being here. I trust pizza implicitly. Both our pizza in chat and just pizza in general. All right. My Halloween special is coming back to me. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Like, excellent answers. Let's keep digging for clues so we can solve this mystery before lunch. I wonder if I can blame my excessive use of the word like on Shaggy. I'm not ashamed, but it's my mom's always like, if I had a nickel for every time you said like, and I'm like, I know. House, thank you, Avery. You're welcome, pizza. All right, clue keeper entry number 2. I wonder if Velma, I don't remember if Velma is always the one keeping the clue keeper, or if they take turns. I just like pretending to be Velma for once. We need a Scooby Doo Ghostbusters crossover. Yes. All right. Clue keeper entry number 2. This is the Great Hall, the professor told us with a sweeping gesture. Here we have our largest specimen. It's from the Jurassic period. I sounded so uninterested. I'm sure the guy was more interested. Wow, those are some big bones, I said, gulping as I looked up at the skeleton. It was almost as big as a building. We're very proud of it, the professor smiled at me. Now if you'll follow me, I'll show you some of our other dinosaur displays. He led us into another room that was filled with glass cases. Each one contained a display. Dinosaur skeletons, dinosaur footprints, and dinosaur eggs. Everything looked very, very old. It was amazing to think that these creatures had lived on Earth for so long before humans even arrived. We walked around looking... Oh, those were the days, I'm sure. We walked around looking at the exhibits and reading the signs. Oh, look, Daphne said. There's a flying reptile, like the pterodactyls Dr. Sharkey was talking about. That's a small one, said Professor Peabody. Its wingspan is about 3 feet. Some of the later pterodactyls had wingspans up to 40 feet. Jinkies, I said, trying to imagine a flying reptile that huge. It could probably pick up something as big as an elephant or a truck and carry it away. Maybe it was a good thing that they were extinct. Here's one of our most recent acquisitions, the professor said, pointing to a large skeleton mounted in the middle of the room. This is a stegosaurus that was found right here in the United States. In Texas, added a tall man in a cowboy hat. I'm assuming he has a very Texas accent. He wore red leather cowboy boots and a denim jacket. He was standing on the other side of the dinosaur. On my ranch, to be exact. That's not a good Texas accent, but I'm going with it. All right, so we got another suspect. Mr. Walker, what a surprise, said the professor, who didn't sound surprised at all. Mr. Walker, what a surprise. Kids, this is Mr. Walker. He's been a frequent visitor to the museum lately. Mr. Walker tipped his hat. Pleased to meet you, he drawled. I'm extremely pleased to have you meet Dinah. He named it. Fred looked around. We were the only people in the room. Who's Dinah? He asked. Fred, it's the dinosaur. It's the dinosaur, Fred. Mr. Walker nodded towards the Stegosaurus skeleton. Why, that's Dinah. Dinah the dinosaur. I got to know her real well when I was helping to dig her up. She's a beauty, ain't she? She sure is, Daphne said. If she's from the Jurassic period, is she from the Jurassic period too? Heck, I don't know. Don't swear on my Christian Minecraft server, shrugged Mr. Walker. All I know is she turned up on my land. I found her when I was digging for oil. This guy. That means I ought to get some of the credit and some of the money. She's worth a pretty penny, I can tell you. The professor sighed. She is valuable, he admitted. But mostly she's a scientific specimen. As I've told you, Mr. Walker, the museum cannot afford to pay you anything for this dinosaur. She may have been found on your land, but she belongs to science now. We'll see about that, said Mr. Walker, tipping his hat and grinning at us before he turned and walked out the door. Correction, sir. The couldn't do it. Oh, I didn't even notice. I think my brain just auto-filled. Dinah the dinosaur sounds awfully garbage pail. I never really had garbage pail kids. Maybe I should look into that. Dinah. You know what? I bet he came up with that name all by himself. All by himself while he was digging for oil. Fred, your himbo is showing. We love a good himbo. Velma's clearly the one doing the research and mystery solving while Shag and Scoob eat and smoke. Yeah, Fred and Daphne. Yeah. They try to get some alone time. Yeah, pretty much. Jeez, Velma, you don't have to be hurtful to the dinosaurs. I know, right? She's like, I'm glad they're all extinct. It's like, oh my god. 3-3 of Beyond Belief. That's what I needed to remember. 3-3. Thank you. I think that might be the one that we do next, but I'm not sure. Look, I was raised in the land of the Valley Girl, and I'll say grammatically incorrect uses of like as much as I please. Well, it's a useful grammatical inconsistency. It's a grammatical error, but it's useful because it denotes not exact quoting. And you're like, and he was like, and she was like, it's like, that's not literally what they said, but that's the gist. Very funny that word, Junior. Daphne, Queen of the Damsels in Distress. I like that in the newer ones we get more assertive Daphne. I like that a lot. Velma is very blunt, yes. By right, Dinah does belong to him if he didn't sign a waiver for the museum to take it. No, you're right. You're 100% right. But, like, private property is inherently theft, I guess. That's what this museum said, so that's what they're going with. All right. And also, I just don't like him, so that's how this goes, right? If I don't like somebody, then nobody has to, they don't have to make any money. Dinosaurs sure are fascinating. Fred's mystery-solving tips. Dinosaurs sure are fascinating. I could spend all day at this museum. There's so much to learn. Fred's just like, I've never learned about dinosaurs before. But we have a mystery to solve, too. Did you notice the eyes in the entry? That means you've met another suspect. Try to answer... Oh, I lost my place. Try to answer the following questions, and you'll be on your way to solving this dino mystery. You could have come up with a better... that wasn't even a pun, Fred. That was just 2 words jammed together. All right, number 1. What is the suspect's name? Mr. Walker? Is he a Texas Ranger? Is that what they were going for with the name? Suspect 2... Mr. Walker. We're not dealing in first names, apparently. Indeed, Pterosaurus the size of giraffes. Ooh, interesting. Beaks the length of... Ooh. Trey the Explainer on YouTube. Ooh, I think I know Trey the Explainer. Yeah. I do very much like prehistoric stuff. Second suspect name, frequent visitor of museum. Well, technically... I would think he could be a little too attracted to dinosaurs for him to steal the bird. I mean, so Mr. Walker, I guess his occupation, well, his occupation is oil tycoon, technically. In parentheses. Frequent visitor. And let's see. I'm gonna write in the margins here. I'm gonna try to keep, yeah. So the motive, I would say, the official motive, I guess, is he's salty that he didn't get paid. Chat, what's our note for why do we think he's sus, specifically us? The Rocker was elementary and middle school bus driver. He'd stop on the side of the road for 10 to 20 minutes if he thought you were too loud. Aww. Oh yeah, I guess Trey doesn't do dinosaur content that much anymore. I haven't watched in a long time. I just remember seeing some of his videos. Part of my money is on the professor. He has more access to the museum. That is true. Scaring off people, questioning his less than ethical means of getting Dinah would be a great cover. True. Suspect 2, Jared Padalecki. I like this. We're just and the culprit is Jared Padalecki. Adam Savage, Scooby Doo. Yes. Yes. Oil tycoon. What's our note? I think for me the note is we don't trust billionaires with fossil fuels. That's my note anyway. Daphne's kidnappings often inadvertently lead to the gang fighting. Yeah, Daphne, when I watched an original... sorry, I'm trying not to lean into this, but I'm not used to this camera being here yet. Yeah, Daphne actually does more than I think she gets credit for. Mr. Walker just seems like the top obvious villain that Scooby Doo usually has as the red herring. I agree. He's so suspicious. They're like, he's an oil tycoon and he's always hanging out here. Oh. And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids and that dog. Yes. Yeah, he does seem too obvious. Daphne is better. Yeah. Okay. So we now have, I'm turning the page. So weird. Well, I've never seen a notepad designed quite like this. I'm not sure what they were going for, but anyway. Still have bets on Dr. Sharky. Should figure out how to run a poll. That's something I should know how to do. Can I run a poll? Let's see. No, Stream Deck, you don't need any updates. No, Steam, you don't need anything. Yes, let's create a poll. Let's see. I'll say who do we suspect Dr. Sharky or Mr. Walker? Get a baseline. Ask the community. I've never done that before. What? Can I do editing? Oh, I can just end the poll. I'll do another poll once we meet more bad guys. Why do they call them kids when they're all obviously college age at least? I don't know. Not old people, but people old enough to be their parents are going to see them as kids anyway, I guess. I'm still betting on Dr. Sharky as the villain of the book. Yeah. Dr. Sharky is really not doing himself any favors. Chat does not trust Dr. Sharky. All right. Good work, gang. Oh, he didn't say gang. Good work. Now let's go check on the rest of the museum. He would have said gang. He should have said gang. Clue keeper entry number 3. Professor Peabody shook his head as he watched Mr. Walker stroll away. I wish I could make him understand, he said. Then he brightened. Oh, well, why don't we continue our tour? Anything else you'd like to see? We have lots of other things here besides dinosaurs. I don't know about anybody else, Shaggy said. Food court. He's going to ask for food court. But I'd like to see a hamburger and some fries. I'm starving. Ree-roo, Scooby agreed. My voice cracks every time I try to do the Scooby voice. The professor laughed. Well, we wouldn't want you to go hungry. There's a snack bar at the museum. Okay, snack bar, fair. We can head there as soon as the rest of the we can head there as soon as we finish our tour. First, I'd like to show you the rest of the museum. How does that sound? Groovy, Shaggy said. Groovy, Shaggy, Scooby added. What's in the next room? Fred asked, pointing towards the doorway. That's the Hall of Mammals, the professor said. We have a diorama featuring everything from the smallest mouse to the largest whale, all shown in their natural habitats. I think you'll enjoy it. We walked through the doorway and into another large hall filled with glass cases. Hanging in the center of this hall was a model of a gigantic blue whale. Wow, I said, staring up at it. That's beautiful. I could just imagine swimming through the ocean. It was amazing to think about this creature, almost as big as the biggest dinosaur, but still living on Earth. We walked around the room looking at the dioramas. There was one featuring woodland animals like deer, raccoons, and foxes. Another showed an Arctic scene with a polar bear and some beautiful seals. Look at the lion, Daphne said. Look at your man, now back to me. Look at the lion, Daphne said, pointing at the diorama that showed animal life on the plains of Africa. And the giraffes and ostriches? Cool. If you like that sort of thing, sniffed a short, red-haired woman standing next to us. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. If you like that thing. She has a condescending tone. She was wearing a navy blue suit and high heels. In my museum, the displays are much more lifelike, and we use computers to show the information instead of relying on these old-fashioned signs. Are you a museum director? I asked, looking around for Professor Peabody. I was hoping he wouldn't get his feelings hurt by overhearing this woman insult his display. Thelma's like, don't talk to me or my son ever again. Fortunately, he was on the other side of the room, showing Fred, Shaggy, and Scooby the display of otters. Yes, I am. My name is Mrs. Murgatroyd, and I run the Steam City Museum of Natural History. It's a wonderful place. You should visit. Suspect. Maybe sometime, Daphne said. If you don't mind my asking, why are you here if you think this museum is so old-fashioned? Mrs. Murgatroyd looked around, then she leaned forward and whispered, Just between you and me, I'm on a mission, she said. I'm hoping to convince Professor Peabody that this museum isn't worth keeping open anymore. If I do, he'll sell me some of his specimens. That T-Rex, for example, it's an excellent skeleton, but it's wasted here. Nobody sees it. We could give it an excellent home in Steam City, she smiled at us. Just then, Professor Peabody walked over, followed by the guys and Scooby. Well, hello there, Mrs. Murgatroyd, he said, forcing a smile. How lovely to see you again. Have you changed your mind yet? She asked him. Never. Never, he answered, folding his arms. I told you I'll never change my mind. This museum will stay open no matter what. All right, so Dr. Sharky is the big winner of that. People think, let me go back. Let me catch up on the chat drama for a second. Motive capitalism, yes. Motive capitalism. I'm gonna add that. Motive capitalism. Capitalism. I now want to do something with these notes when we're done reading through these books, and I don't know what yet. I've thought about, because in hunting down books like these, I oftentimes get them in big lots on eBay, and when you do, sometimes you end up with duplicates, so I'm like, maybe I'll just, like, use some of the duplicates and do what I did in my old house years ago, which is wallpaper this wall with pages from the books that we've read on stream. Or books like the books that we read on stream. Not literally the ones that we read, because I'm keeping them, but you know. The duplicates. Explains the... Yeah. Yeah, it was very late 60s, early 70s for sure. They're very much kids of the hippie generation, yes. Why hasn't Shaggy started his own mukbang series? He's trying to... I feel like I've talked about this in a video, but it's like, I think if the gang was all on YouTube, Shaggy and Scooby would be mukbang creators, obviously. I think Daphne would be a, like, lifestyle vlogger or, beauty. I feel like she would do, like, those, like, true crime things where they do their makeup and talk about true crime. And then Velma would, like, what would Velma do? Velma would do, like, very intense, like, deep dives and commentary videos, like video essays. And then Fred would be a TikToker. I think that's what I said in the video. Motive capitalism should be on a t-shirt. Okay, so we have a running list of a few things that I want on a t-shirt. Motive capitalism is definitely one of them. Another one that I really like is we came up with this on stream last night because we were joking about how none of us believe in Bigfoot because we would have found him by now, and we were joking that, like, one day they're gonna find Bigfoot and he's gonna do an interview and we're all gonna get canceled because they're gonna dig up that stream bot and be like, look at them not invalidating Bigfoot. And so somebody said hashtag validate Bigfoot, which was a thing in stream. So now I'm just like, I just want a t-shirt now with a sad Bigfoot and it just says hashtag validate Bigfoot. Scooby Doo film where Daphne has a YouTube account called Cheapers It's Daphne. Oh! That's actually really funny. Tear the pages out and autograph them. Velma would be me. That's true. Velma and I would at the very least collab. Daphne would show you 60 ways incapacitating an enemy only using lipstick. Yes. A great name for a band, which sounds like your catchphrase. That is my catchphrase. It's become my catchphrase. I love it. Okay. So now we've got Daphne's mystery-solving tips. This museum is the best. I can see why Professor Peabody wants to keep it open. I'm sure it has nothing to do with his job, Daphne. It's just because it's cool. I sure hope he can. If we can solve this mystery, maybe that will help. Probably will. And we're getting closer all the time. Did you notice the eyes in this entry? I did. That means we found another suspect. See if you can answer the following questions. What's the suspect's name? What does the suspect do for a living? Why would the suspect steal the pterodactyl eggs? He would have a traffic account, probably. Oh, I think I would faint if I ever met Linda. Icon. All right, so let's see. What was her name? How do we spell this lady's name? I can't throw stones because I have a ridiculous last name, but Murgatroyd. Mrs. Murgatroyd, huh? Or is she Ms.? It might be Ms. Ms. When did they go by Ms. get a bad rep, I guess? You notice how all the characters on TV and movies that go by Ms. are just, like, Terrible. Suspect 3. Ms. Murgatroyd. Oh, I thought somebody was knocking on my door. They're knocking on the door next door. That's a great name for a band. Should also be on a t-shirt or hat. Yes. I also am very content on making... Not content. That's very intent on making Halloween Speakeasy band t-shirts. I can already picture their band logo as like a little skeleton cranking an old-fashioned record player. That brings me back to grade school. Okay, so suspect. Her occupation. Occupation. She's the rival. I didn't need to use that much space. Oh well. Occupation. Museum director? Is she the director or is she the curator? Wife of Megatron. When she transforms, is she like... I don't even know. I feel like if she was a Transformer, she'd be a minivan, you know? She kind of gives off that energy. Which sounds offensive to minivan, so I take that back. New museum director. Yeah, she's the director. Motive is the thrill of competition. This is moving everywhere. These are chat notes. Chat notes. Let's see. Funniest last name I ever heard for real was Quackenbush. That's a pretty funny last name. Called was here before me. Oh, that is cute. I love that. Something along the line of modern science being better than the old plain stuff. Yeah, chat notes. Let's see. She thinks her computers are the shit. But they're probably mid. Yeah. Yeah. I like when Velma gets to be, gets to come out of the box a little bit. Love Velma. Like Candy Quackenbush. That's what I was thinking too. All right. So now I want to run another poll. Now that I've found this newfound ability to run polls, meaning I realize that there's a button right here. Who's more sus? Zany. Or Dr. How do we say his name? I already forget. Sharky. I almost called him Sparky, and I was like, that's not his name. I guess I could add Mr. Walker, but, like... I think we all know. Are we only gonna get... I feel like we're only gonna get 3 suspects, right? Let's see. Let's update chat. You have a self-portrait made. Little stories, i.e. Dorian Gray. Oh gosh. Dorian Gray is such a wild book, isn't it? I don't think we talk about that book enough. It's already 8:30. Wow. Yeah. Selma gets to sing in Legend of the Vampires, and I was like, yes, girl, yes. Yes. Chad is really doubling down on Dr. Sharky being the guy. All right, let's see. Leave that up for now while we read the next part, the next entry. She doesn't have, like, parting words for us. Everybody else was like, good job. Now go on and keep working. And Daphne's just like, you don't need an attaboy. It builds character. All right. Well, said Professor Peabody after we'd said goodbye. Oh, there's a Clue Keeper entry number 4 in case anybody's wondering. So that... well, said Professor Peabody after we'd said goodbye to Mrs. Murgatroyd, how about that hamburger you mentioned? I could go for some fries myself. All right, Shaggy and Scooby said together. Well, Scooby probably said, all right. Nodding eagerly. I think you'll enjoy our snack bar, said the professor, as he led us down a hall. That doesn't sound like a snack bar so much as it just sounds like a cafeteria if they're selling all the food. Led us down a hall, around a corner, and back through the Great Hall. He brought us past, oh boy, Diplodocus? And down another hallway, pointing out the gift shop as we went by. Yay, the gift shop! Foolish mortals, don't you know all rides must end in the gift shop? Finally, he threw open some big double doors. We all gasped. Suddenly, it was as if we were in a tropical jungle. Plants and trees filled the room, which was lit from above by giant skylight. Water burbled in streams and fountains, and there was a large pond in the middle of the room, filled with huge goldfish. Apparently my meds are wearing off if I'm struggling to read this middle grade book. Jinkies, I said, this is wonderful. And the skylight even opens on nice days to let in sun and air, the professor said proudly. This atrium is one of the museum's best features. We walked around the room, gasping at the beautiful flowers that covered vines hanging from the trees. This is just beautiful, Daphne said. Like, sure, it's beautiful, Shaggy agreed, but, like, where are the burgers? The professor laughed. Just beyond the palm tree here, he said, continuing to lead the way. Phew, Shaggy said when we walked up to the snack bar. Just in time. I'm so hungry I could eat a Diplodocus. I'm probably saying that very wrong. He looked over the menu that was posted behind the counter. Let's see. Do I want the extra large? Mastodon burger? Or the Mesozoic chili dog? He looked at Scooby. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? He said. Scooby nodded. 2 of each, Shaggy told the woman behind the counter. Isn't Shaggy, like, didn't they make him a vegetarian specifically? Oh no, it's not even a real gift shop and I have a craving to buy souvenirs, right? I think of Mr. Peabody the dog cartoon too. 2 of each what? She asked. 2 of each of everything on the menu, Shaggy answered happily. The girl blinked, then she smiled. Coming right up, she said. The rest of us put in our orders too. And we sat down at a table to wait. Mr. Walker and I spotted Dr. Sharkey standing near the snack bar, putting in an order. Your museum... I guess he hasn't walked up to the snack bar in this shot yet. Your museum is wonderful, I told Professor Peabody. With or without the pterodactyl eggs. Thank you. Oh gosh, this looks like a very fun page. Thank you, he sighed, but if attendance doesn't go up soon, we may have to close. Just then, I looked up and saw a shadow move across the skylight. Do you have birds in here? I asked. Birds? The professor asked. No, why do you ask? I just thought I saw something flying around, I answered. Hey, there it is again. This time, the shadow swooped closer, and what I saw made a chill go down my spine. I began. It can't be, gasped the professor. He leaped to his feet. What is it? Daphne asked. It's a pterodactyl, the professor answered. It can't be, but it is. Okay, so we definitely know that it's animatronic. Because look, we have everybody... Well... Is everybody here? Yes, everybody's here. So nobody's in the suit. Everybody's here. Ooh, this is a slightly longer chapter. It's like 5 or 6 pages. The shadow swooped closer and closer, and soon we could all see that it was a gigantic flying reptile. As it flew towards us, it suddenly... Oh, I should have taken a couple of sips for pterodactyl, sorry. Forgot. The shadow swooped closer and closer, and soon we could all see that it was a gigantic flying reptile. As it flew towards us, it suddenly let out an ear-splitting shriek. Help! Yelled Shaggy. That thing is huge, said Fred. The wingspan must be 8 feet. He ducked as the pterodactyl swooped down, claws outstretched. Poor Fred. He's just like, wow, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen, like ducking for his life. You knew it. I'm getting out of here, Shaggy said, dashing for the door. Rate Rory! Yelled Scooby, running after him. Don't ditch the dog! Shaggy, bad pet parenting. We're right behind you, I said. Daphne, Fred, the professor, and I all rushed towards the door. The pterodactyl swooped and shrieked, chasing us through the trees. Ms. Murgatroyd and Mr. Walker jumped up from the table and ran too. Don't panic, yelled Mr. Walker in a panicky voice. Mr. Walker's kind of a little bitch. We slipped through the door just in time. Phew, Fred said Fred. Whatever. I could practically feel his claws grabbing onto me. It's okay, Fred. You're gonna be okay. Ms. Murgatroyd was comforting Mr. Walker over in the corner. Take deep breaths, she said. She's nice to somebody? That's strange. She's not nice to somebody usually. Dr. Sharkey came out of the door last. His hair was as disheveled as always. Ah, so you're saying he was left behind. He was left behind with the evidence. Interesting. His hair was disheveled as always, and he looked distracted. He headed off down the hall without saying a word to anyone. The professor stood there, panting. His face was white. This can't be happening, he said. It must be an illusion, a robot or a holograph. Pterodactyls have been extinct for thousands of years. I don't think anybody thought it was real. Right, Mr. Science Man? I wonder, I said, thinking out loud, maybe somebody created this pretend pterodactyl to try to scare us away before we figure out the mystery of the missing eggs. Nobody can scare us away, Daphne said. Not when we're on the case. Daphne. Speak for yourself, Shaggy told her. No, Shaggy. Don't listen to him, Fred told Professor Peabody. Daphne's right. We'll get to the bottom of this mystery. Don't worry. Let's split up and look for clues, I suggested. Shaggy and Scooby can check out this area of the museum. Daphne and Fred and I will go see what we can find on the other side of the Great Hall. Then we can meet back here and compare notes. Is Velma, like, taking the lead? Yeah. Good for Velma. Good plan, said Fred, and Fred is a supportive friend. Good for him. Thank you, said the professor, wringing his hands. I certainly hope you can help. I thought that was Velma being like, thank you, it was a good plan. We promised to do our best, I said. Before we split up, I looked over at Ms. Murgatroyd to see how she and Mr. Walker were doing. Are you two okay? I asked. Oh, sure, said Mrs. Murgatroyd. Wasn't that amazing? I felt as if I were back in the Mesozoic era, with a pterodactyl flying over my head. This had been alcohol, I would be out. Oh, this is a much longer chapter. Good for us. I see Ms. Mulvaney is gaining, but Dr. Sharkey is definitely in the lead. Mr. Walker stared at her. You enjoyed that? You enjoyed that? He asked. Well, not exactly. I was scared too, she admitted, but there's something exciting about it. Give me a good old bucking bronco anytime, said Mr. Walker. That's my type of excitement. Bucking broncos or pterodactyls, Shaggy said, as if he were trying to decide which was more exciting. Like, who needs that kind of excitement? Not me, Daphne said. That pterodactyl was terrifying. The terrifying pterodactyl. What are you going to do about it, Professor Peabody? Well, first of all, I guess the snack bar is closed for business for now, he said. No, moaned Shaggy. Scooby groaned. He ignored them. And then, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see if we can solve the mystery of the missing eggs. Maybe we can figure out who created the pretend pterodactyl. Professor Peabody looked around at us. Anyway, the main thing is that we're all safe. So they're not actual. I just saw the question about the records. They're not actual records, obviously. This one is made to look like it's a fake. It says no marks on the table, as if that's the single. Side A, Apollo Records, and then this one over here is Sunset Records, and it says Too Hot to Handle by the Nostalgics. They all say the Nostalgics, which I find fitting. I almost didn't escape, said Mr. Walker, who still looked scared. I nearly tripped and fell while I was cutting through the red-flowered vines in that crazy tropical rainforest in there. Did he ruin them? He held up a chunk of rock. I grabbed this so nobody else would have the same problem. Clue. Okay, interesting. What is that? Asked Ms. Mulvaney, peering at the object. Whatever it is, I can't imagine what it's doing in the atrium, said Professor Peabody. That garden is perfectly landscaped. Nothing changes in there. Without my knowledge. He leaned in to look at the rock. Can we see? I asked. I stepped forward to take a look. So did the rest of the gang. The object was tan and had an interesting leathery look. Like, big deal, Shaggy said. It's just a rock. I'm not so sure about that, said Ms. Murgatroyd. I have a feeling this may be much more than just an ordinary rock. Professor Peabody stared at her. You don't think, he began. Yes, I do, said Ms. Murgatroyd. I think that this may be a piece of shell from one of those missing pterodactyl eggs. Mr. Walker burst out laughing. Now that's a tall tale if I ever heard one, he said. I mean, there literally was a flying pterodactyl. I think we've all seen crazier today. He said, slapping his knee. Good joke. I don't think she's joking, Fred said. I think Miss Murgatroyd might be right. It looks just like Dr. Sharky's description. Oh my, said Professor Peabody. Could this mean? His face was white. That the pterodactyl is real after all? That's not what I thought. I thought he was going to say all the eggs were destroyed. Is this the same? This looks like the same illustration from before, sorry. No, it's slightly different. He's holding his hand out like, hello, Mystery Inc. gang, and then here he's like, oh wow, look, it's part of an egg. They should have known by this and how big of a piece that was left behind that it was an egg. Maybe it could. Maybe it could somehow have hatched from this egg. That's just silly, Mr. Walker said. Why that thing looks more like one of them ostrich eggs I saw in a case than anything else. Professor Peabody ignored him. It does seem highly unlikely from a scientific standpoint, he said. But why don't I give it to Dr. Sharky? Perhaps he can run some tests on it. I would trust Dr. Sharky. Chat says not to trust Dr. Sharky. 60%. He took the object and hurried off down the hall. Mr. Walker and Ms. Murgatroyd headed off talking about the mysterious object. Her high heels clicked as they disappeared around the corner. The rest of us split up to look for more clues. You'll be careful, I told Shaggy and Scooby. Of course we will, Shaggy said. But, like, if you don't have to worry, what could possibly go wrong? But, like, you don't have to worry, what could possibly go wrong? All right. That was a very long chapter. Yes. Hello. All right, what did I miss in chat? Oh, I missed a lot in chat. Money, Fame, and Revenge is all the villains, always. Where did I leave off? Okay. Now he's plying them with food as soon as a serious discussion. Yep, it's Sharky. I mean, to be fair, that wasn't Sharky, was it? Wasn't that Mr. Peabody? Wasn't Mr. Peabody the one that was like, go and get food? Maybe it was maybe it was Dr. Sharky. I can't remember now. Yeah, Professor Peabody. Yeah, I got you. I like being in the story corner. Fourth Doctor. Oh no, it's not even a real gift shop. Yeah, I know. Gift shops are just... I mean, nobody's ever made a sensible purchase in a gift shop because it's a gift shop, but man, you find some fun things in there. Yeah, supposed to be vegan vegetarian. Shaggy's supposed to be vegan vegetarian because Casey Kasem was. Advanced technology knew it. Yeah, next time we should run a poll. Now that I'm thinking about it, before we get started, where we make a prediction poll that's like, is it going to be a monster or is it going to be advanced tech? You jinxed it, Daphne. You played yourself. He does keep trying to say it's a piece of advanced tech. Right, said Fred. Mad, yeah. The tropes begin! What era were ancient turtles? I'm sure Cameron knows, if not already answered. For Scooby Monster and why? What was the worst Scooby Monster? I'll have to think about it. Somebody asked what era were ancient turtles? Was a question. a prehistoric question that got asked. You're gonna need a new cup of Coke soon. Oh boy. All right. Velma's mystery solving tips. Jinkies. Things are getting I need to put sounds on the soundboard that are like everybody's catchphrase so that every time we come across it in the books, then I can just press the button. Things are getting mighty strange around here. This museum is full of surprises. Did you catch the clue in the last entry? If you saw the flashlight, you can probably answer these questions. What clue did you find in this entry? Which of the suspects might be responsible for the clue? What does the clue tell you about the missing eggs? Good work. All right. So let's see. Definitely around the time of dinosaurs. Cool, cool. Spaceman Monster was a cool one, yeah. All right. So we have clue number 1. It is part of an, I'm putting egg in quotation marks because I'm almost half certain that it's not even one of the real pterodactyl eggs. Who was describing to us what they looked like, right? Who was describing it? Was it Mr. Peabody? Or was it Dr. Sharkey? Those eggs are very valuable for scientific study. No. Look at that. The eggs look... Yeah, Dr. Sharkey was the one who told us what they looked like, so that's important. That's interesting to me. You need an easy button. That was easy. I should put that. I can put sounds on this, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Nearly time for me to work out with my mom. I won't click off the stream. Oh, thank you. Just be in a different room until I get back. Thank you. We appreciate that watch time. It helps. Definitely around during the time of the dinosaurs. That's cool. Oh, yeah. Okay. So our questions are... I appreciate that they encourage kids to write down these notes in a different notebook and not in the book. I'm going to end the poll. Dr. Sharkey is still the prime suspect. And I think we just have... I think we've built a little bit more of a case for Dr. Sharkey. Because which of the suspects might be responsible for the clue? So Dr. Sharkey was the one that told us what the eggs looked like. Which, I mean, I guess any of them could know, but I do find it interesting, given everything else, that he was the one describing them most clearly. You know, now that we found part of it. You over the years, closest thing to having a dinosaur as a pet. Natasha also has a turtle. Her name is Traveler. She's adorable. So who could have been responsible for the egg? But also... Mr. Walker was the one who found the egg, so, you know, I always have a little bit of suspicion for the guy who was like, look at this suspicious-looking thing. Oh, I read 2 in a row, didn't I? I totally read 2 in a row because there wasn't a stopper thing, and I was just like, I kept going. So I read Clue Keeper entry 4 and 5. Why it felt so long. I was like, this is a long chapter. I wasn't paying attention. What does this clue tell you about the missing eggs? You want the reader to care about the mystery, which makes sense. Yes, yes, they do. Okay. So... clue supports Dr. Sharkey because he knew what they looked like very, very well, which makes sense. It's his job, but like, I don't know. And then also Mr. Walker found it. Who was the last one to walk in? It was Dr. Sharky was the last one to walk in too. Dr. Sharky. Last through door. Time was James and later named Jamie as neutral because she started laying infertile eggs. Aw. Like Kevin in Up. For 230 million years ago, when the true turtles showed up during the Triassic, the first Mesozoic era. Nice. That's super cool. Any other questions? Yes, Cameron is the dude for questions about dinosaurs, prehistoric, all that good stuff. All right. Do we have any other observations about this clue before we move on, chat? What does this clue tell you about the missing eggs? I mean, it's broken. They're probably all broken. Eggs may broken. Beyond the point of no return. What about invertebrates like jellyfish? Yes. My current one's 28 years. Aww. Cute. Turtles are cute. Also, it's a total myth that they can't run fast. I've seen a turtle book it. Good work. All we need is another clue or two, and we'll be on our way to solving this prehistoric puzzle. All right, let's just go into Clue Keeper entry number 6. So, Shaggy said to Scooby, time to look for clues. Any ideas? Scooby just shrugged. Rah-rah, he said, shaking his head. Shaggy told me all this later when we met again. I have to believe that as they were writing this, they realized what they had done. And they were like, oh, this is all supposed to be Velma's perspective. We now have fucked up. Dun, dun, dun for suspense. Yes, I can do that. I can do that. I'm gonna do that. So I have to work in some specifically for Goosebumps. Shaggy told me all this later when we met again. Why don't we go talk to Dr. Sharky? Shaggy suggested. Maybe he's learned something about that egg. I like that we can quote exactly. He remembered exactly. Okay, Scooby said. The two of them headed down the quiet hallway until they came to a doorway marked Curator. This must be it, Shaggy said. He knocked on the door. Go away, yelled someone from inside. Dr. Sharky? Shaggy called. There was a pause. He's not here, said the voice. Like, that sounds exactly like Dr. Sharky, Shaggy said, confused. He knocked again. Go away, I'm busy. Shaggy and Scooby exchanged a look and a shrug. I guess we're not going to talk to Dr. Sharky right now. Any other ideas? Scooby looked thoughtful. Then his stomach gave a loud rumble. Hungry? Shaggy asked. Scooby nodded hard. Me too, Shaggy said. Tell you what, let's go back to the snack bar and get all the food we ordered. It's probably all sitting there, waiting for us. Hey, Colby. Make a note of this. Yeah. Yes, the intro beat to Goosebumps. Scooby's eyes grew wide. He shook his head. Ro-ray, he said. It's okay, Shaggy said. We'll be really, really quiet. Oh, he said like no way. Ro-ray. We really, really quiet. Like, the pterodactyl won't even know we're there. We'll tiptoe in, grab the food, and we'll leave. Come on, Scooby. I'm as scared of that thing as you are, but I'm starving. Scooby finally agreed, and they headed back to the atrium. Shaggy eased the door open very, very quietly, and they slipped inside. They went right to the snack bar and saw that there was nobody behind the counter. But the counter itself was piled high with food, hamburgers, fries, hot dogs, pizza, nachos, and chips. Everything Scooby and Shaggy had ordered. They scooped as much food as they could into their arms and started to slink away. Just then, there was a flapping sound. Oh, all that food is going to get thrown. Right above them. Run, shouted Shaggy. We can hide in those bushes. They took off, leaving a trail of French fries, and headed to the clump of trees. The pterodactyl swooped behind them, screeching loudly. Duck in here, Shaggy. Wait, duck in here, said Shaggy, holding aside a vine covered with red flowers. Scooby ducked. Phew, said Shaggy. I think we're safe. He grinned at Scooby. And we even have most of our food. Scooby glared at him. Okay, Shaggy said. Like, I know you told me so, but it'll turn out okay. We can hunker down in here as long as we want now that we have provisions. He took a huge bite of his hamburger. Scooby pointed at something on the ground. What's that, buddy? Shaggy asked. He took a closer look. Is Timmy down the well? Hey, it's some more of that egg thing. This must be where Mr. Walker tripped. He looked around. Yup, sure enough. There are his footprints. I can tell those were made by cowboy boots. Can you? I guess you could tell. And here are some other footprints. They look like sneakers. Scooby nodded. Cool, Shaggy said. Man, this mystery-solving stuff is hard work. I'm ready for another burger. How about you? Scooby held out a paw and grinned. Okay. Shaggy and Scooby's mystery-solving tips. Oh. I almost held it up to camera forgetting about this camera. Hi, this camera. Like, so maybe it wasn't so smart to go back into the atrium. That huge bird thing almost got us. But he made it to safety, and, like, I think we even found a clue. Did you see the flashlight? Cool, then answer these questions. I feel like we're on Blue's Clues. Scooby's cousin. I almost forgot about him. What clue did you find in this entry? So, we found footprints. Which suspect might be responsible for the clue? Can you eliminate any suspects with this clue? Ooh, elimination time. While you answer the question, great. While you answer the question, Scoob and I will finish our snack. Then we'll figure out how we're going to get out of this place without the pterodactyl seeing us. All right, guys. I think this is very obvious. Obviously. Clue 2. Footprints. If they want us to eliminate somebody, we definitely can eliminate the lady. Ms. Mulvaney. Cleared. Because she was wearing heels, and we found footprints that were sneakers, and we found footprints that were cowboy boots. That's Dr. Sharky and Mr. Walker. So our suspects are down to 2. I think if my calculations are correct, we've cleared the name of Ms. Mulvaney. let's move on to Clue Keeper Entry 7. I'm reading all of Cameron's notes on dinosaurs and prehistoric era. It was Avery all along. She did it. She knows way too much about the case. It was Agatha all along. Agatha's such a vibe. Okay, Clue Keeper Entry number 7. I'm going to pivot very awkwardly because I definitely am not suspicious. While Scooby and Shaggy were huddled in the atrium, the rest of us were checking out other parts of the museum. Where should we start? Fred asked. Let's go to the Great Hall, Daphne suggested. Didn't she already suggest this? She was like, let's go to the Great Hall. And Fred was like, where do you want to go? And she's like, the Great Hall, dumbass. From there, we can go through every other room and make sure we don't miss anything. Back in the Great Hall, we gazed up at the... Diplodocus? You could help us, old pal, joked Fred, talking to the gigantic skull. Fred, you can talk to your living friends. We're all right here, Fred. He can't, but Dinah might be able to, said Mr. Walker, who was trolling past. He winked at us. That Dinah's a mighty smart dinosaur. I knew he was just kidding, but I figured we might as well check out the dinosaur room next. We had to look everywhere for clues. I stared into each of the cases on one side of the room, looking everything over carefully. Fred and Daphne were on the other side. We met at the end of the room. Anything? I asked. Nothing, Daphne said, shaking her head. Maybe Mr. Walker's right, Fred said. Maybe we should ask Dinah. He walked over to the big stegosaurus skeleton in the middle of the room. Dinah, he said, where can we find a clue? Please help us, Dinah. But Dinah didn't answer. I guess that was a good thing. After that pterodactyl, I wasn't sure I wanted any other dinosaurs to come to life. I said, if I had stolen pterodactyl eggs... I've lost count. If somebody's watching on VOD, keep track of how many times they've said pterodactyl, because I can't remember. Where would I hide them? It would be dangerous to try to get them out of the museum, since a guard might see you, so maybe you hide them in the museum. Good thinking, said Fred. But they'd have to be in a place nobody would think to look. For example, in one of these displays, said Daphne. What if you hid... For example, in one of these displays, said Daphne. What if you hid the eggs in plain sight? Wouldn't that be clever? We stared at each other. Suddenly, I remembered what Mr. Walker had said about the eggs. Looking like ostrich eggs. This way, I said. Follow me. Wait, suddenly I remember what Mr. Walker had said about the eggs looking like ostrich eggs. Ah, this way, I said. Follow me. I dashed into the hall of mammals and headed straight for the Africa diorama. There, behind a locked glass case, was a nest of ostrich eggs. But two of the eggs looked just a little different from the others. They were a little larger, a little darker, and a little more leathery. Look, I said, pointing. I bet those are pterodactyl eggs. Two things. No, I guess mainly one thing. How did nobody notice? This is a bunch of scientific professionals, presumably. How did no one notice? Can you guys see how obviously these eggs are not these eggs? Does nobody care about their job? I think you're right, Fred said. Professor Peabody is going to be so happy. There's still a problem, though, I said. We don't know who stole them. And there's one other thing, said Daphne. That pterodactyl is still in the atrium. And it probably will be until we figure out who our thief is. The doctor definitely has a key. I don't know how Mr. Walker would have gotten them in there. Story time with Avery again. Yes. I've been collecting books that I'm very nostalgic about. Goosebump books and Scooby Doo mystery stories. And so I'm bringing the reading streams back with a vengeance. Good to see you, Paul. Nobody suspects a storyteller. True. Untrustworthy narrator. Nice. Very nice. Weirdest book I've ever had was X-Men Star Trek Next Generation. It had Jonathan Frakes on part of the cover. Side note, I can hear the ice cream truck down the street at 10 after 9. LOL. That's funny. That's really funny. I remember right after we went into, like, full-blown lockdown in, like, spring of 2020, the ice cream truck just decided to start making, like, daily rounds on my street. And I was like, in this climate? In a Panera Bread, you're gonna come out here and be like, everybody gather to buy ice cream from my truck. I don't know. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be me. Right. Let's see. Daphne's mystery solving tips. Wow, we found the eggs. Now, if we can just solve the rest of the mystery, maybe Professor Peabody's museum will be able to stay open after all. I bet you noticed the flashlight in the last entry. That means you found another clue. Can you answer these questions? What clue did you find? Which suspect might be responsible for the clue? How do you know? Good work. We almost got this mystery solved. Okay. So we found clue 3 is not so much a clue as it just is we found them. We found the eggs. We found them. Fourth Doctor. Have you seen any of the things where Natasha and I have talked about Natasha? It's Natasha's book, but it's been with me for a while now because she wasn't reading it and she wanted me to do something with it on the channel, and I wasn't doing reading streams back then. But it's a Star Trek Corona from like 1980 something, and I've been meaning to read that on stream. It'll have to happen eventually. But that's what it made me think of when you said Star Trek with Jonathan Frakes on the cover. This doesn't have Jonathan Frakes on the cover, but, you know, same vein. Star Trek novel. Or as Natasha likes to call them, glorified Star Trek fanfic. Okay, so we found the eggs. They were in a locked case. Inside locked case. And I would like to note that Dr. Sharkey would have had keys to said case. I'm fully a Dr. Sharkey truther now. I'm fully on the Dr. Sharkey is the baddie now. That looks like there's 2 E's. Oh well. Love the vinyl coasters. Thank you. There's more of them down in my front room. This one says Sunset Records. They're all obviously fake records. They say they're by a band called the Nostalgics, which I love. And this says Too Hot to Handle. And this one says No Marks on the Table by Apollo Records. And this one's Sunset Records. I think they're really cute. I used to have my Scrabble tile ones, but these are my personal favorites. Sorry, Scrabble tiles. Good work. We've almost got this mystery solved. Daphne gave us a compliment. She didn't do that last time. All right. Clue Keeper entry number 8. Fred, Daphne, and I went back towards the atrium. We found Scooby and Shaggy standing just outside the doors. Each of them was balancing a gigantic leaf on his head. What are you two doing? Asked Daphne, giggling. You look very silly. Silly baby, but we're alive, Shaggy said. We used these leaves as a disguise. to help us sneak away from the pterodactyl. God. Like, it didn't even see us leaving. It's still flying around in there, yelling its head off. He explained how they'd gotten caught in the atrium when they went in to find food. Oh, Shaggy, I said, if you and Scooby could just forget about food, you'd stay out of trouble. Scooby hung his head. No, they wouldn't. They would never stay out of trouble. Then he licked a spot of ketchup on his chin. Good rise, he said. That's right, Scooby, and said Shaggy. They were good fries, worth a little trouble. Plus, we found a clue. He told us about the footprints. Said Fred. I'm beginning to think we can solve this case. Are we going to get a Fred trap? We're going to get a trap. All we need to do is catch the pterodactyl and find out where it came from. Fred traps! That sounds hard, said Shaggy. Not really, said Fred. Not if we use my plan. Since you two like disguises so much, why don't you put these on? He held up 2 dinosaur costumes. I got these from the gift shop. I'm picturing, like, onesies, like my dragon onesie, but a dinosaur. His dinosaur costumes. I wonder what length they are actually costumes. You've been playing the pterodactyl drinking game with sangria. Oh no, I have regrets. Avenge me, Avery. I will avenge you. I couldn't be drinking sangria and taking that many hits and reading. It would be bad. It would be really bad. Since you two like disguises, I lost count somewhere around, I don't know, 12. I got these from the gift shop. If you and Scooby put them on and go into the atrium, the pterodactyl will come down and check you out. Will it? Isn't it just like a robotic thing? Then we'll set off a smoke bomb without any visibility. The pterodactyl won't be able to take off again, and we can catch it. God, I'm glad that's not alcohol. Dear God. Shaggy just stared at us. I turned to Scooby. How about it, Scooby? Ray, he said, shaking his head. Daphne took over. Would you do it for 2 Scooby snacks and an order of fries? Scooby thought for a second. Okay, he said. Daphne knows that he won't do it for 1 Scooby snack anymore. Oh, look, we do get to see their costumes. They do kind of look like onesies. Can you guys see? Poor Liver. Oh God, I feel so bad. This is why I seldom encourage drinking games on this channel. Yeah, taking the costume from Fred and pulling it on. Daphne and I threw him the snacks and he gobbled them up. Did they like each take one? Turned to Shaggy and raised his eyebrows. Oh, okay, Shaggy said, sighing. He put on his costume. Then he and Scooby opened the door to the atrium and slipped inside. We peeked through the door to watch our friends be bait. Finally, Daphne doesn't have to be bait. There was a loud screech, and the pterodactyl spotted them and swooped down. I'm so sorry, Ellery. Bro, I hope you've given up on the drinking game. I did it to myself, LMAO. Hey, Laser. Now, yelled Daphne. And Fred tossed a smoke bomb immediately. The entire atrium was filled with smoke. I would assume, because it's a smoke bomb. Just then, Professor Peabody came along. What's this? He asked, peering into the atrium. Why, I can't see a thing in there. Without my fucking glasses. No, I'm just kidding. Better open the skylight to let that smoke out. He flipped a big switch. The huge skylight slid open and poured out. And smoke poured out. As soon as it could see, the pterodactyl took off, holding Shaggy in one huge talon and Scooby in the other. Help, yelled Shaggy. Help, shouted Scooby. They really should have let Mr. Peabody in on the plan. That was on them. Pterodactyl flapped as hard as it could, but it was carrying too much weight. Finally, it had to let go. And Shaggy and Scooby plummeted into a large palm tree. Without the weight, the pterodactyl had no trouble flying higher. It circled up and then disappeared out of the skylight. Ruh-roh, we all heard Scooby say from his perch in the palm tree, but somebody else screamed even more upset. No, no, come back, don't go! Loud sobs filled the air. There was still too much smoke in the atrium for us to be able to see who was shouting and sobbing. I think I hear a thief, said Fred. Whoever's crying must be the one who stole the eggs and created the pterodactyl. Let's see who it is. All right, what do we have? What's happening, chat? My ex-girlfriend. Whoop, hang on. Not that drunk, just tipsy. Okay. I always tell the story about the day that I filmed that video with my mom, the Julia Child cooking video. We filmed all afternoon. And then, you know, we were kind of day drinking tequila and lime while we were doing it. Or I was. I think she was drinking wine. I was drinking tequila and lime. And after a good little bit of day drinking, then it's dinner time, and I'm having, like, horrible allergies because my sinuses are so messed up from those onions being terrible. And then I was like, oh, silly me, I'll just take a Benadryl, forgetting that tequila and Benadryl do not mix, and I do not recommend that, ever, ever. Don't ever do that. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever done. Not the dumbest, but one of the dumbest things. Yeah, you're not as thick as you drunk you are. My ex-girlfriend had a dino costume as a kid. The tail was so long it dragged the pavement and damaged and attached any damage when I went to roller skates to the end of the tail. Nice! A roller skate to the tail. Adorable. His refined English accent, and it's just fucking with everybody. Probably, yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Oh yeah, and Cameron is on site to answer any dinosaur-related questions. I've been learning a lot. It's been very fun. That remains one of my favorite videos. I think it might be my favorite video. I've got to do another cooking video. I have a friend who does a lot of cooking stuff online. I've never asked him this before, but I'm like, I should have him try to help me cook because he's actually good at cooking. Or I should have my mom back. She's very camera shy, though, if you can believe that. Yay, dizzy. Oh gosh, my sangria was like 50% ice from the start, and I'm still on the first glass, but I get tipsy easily. Yeah. I'm a tiny person. Like, I'm small, so it's not that hard. Like, I'm pretty good with alcohol considering, but yeah, it can be a lot. True or false that a T-Rex is horrible at boxing? I can't hit the fire button and jump at the same time. That's what it made me think of. All right, Mr. Dark. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't. Yeah, it's just. Sorry. Not to go into my Ursula era or anything, but yeah, I think we're gonna have to put Mr. Dark on at very minimum, 2-week shadow ban, just because it's just a lot. Saurus were covered in a short, fuzzy plumage, down feather-like, other than their wings. This is so cool. You know more about dinosaurs than like any like educator or anybody at any like museum or anything that I've ever seen. I'm very small. I was just talking about this on stream last night. I was in the 2nd percentile for height my whole life, and I was in the 4th percentile in weight my whole life, which means 98% of the girls my age were taller than me, and 96% of them weighed more than me. So I was just a small, scrawny little child. About to report because apparently my tipsy brain is in its villain arc. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I have given so many chances, and it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Yeah, I'm pretty okay with my alcohol because people think that just because I'm tiny, I must be horrible, and I'm really not, all things considered. But I mean, just scientifically, I'm not gonna be able to like drink a ton. Not that I would want to before I'm like, okay, I'm done. Also Irish, so I should be more alcohol resistant. Yeah, that's what I always say. I always say it's our superpower. I always chalk it up to being part Irish. There was a pterosaur found with thumbs. It used to be... nice. That's interesting. How dare the Irish not know how to drink? I actually don't drink that much, honestly. Guess your height. I'm gonna guess 5 feet even, just because it sounds like a nice, fun number. Nightbot sounds like a superhero name. Yeah, if we were joking about me being being a secret superhero, maybe Nightbot is my sidekick. Baboon-like primate around the same time as our ancestors. Astral. I don't know how to say that. Well, because that also walked upright. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, did you have your wisdom teeth out, Laser? I had mine out when I was 15, 16. I had them out while I had braces on, which I thought was going to be worse than it was. It was bad. 6'5". Woo! Very tall. I have a friend who's almost that tall, and I always forget how tall he is until I see him again. This book is from 2001. I believe all of these are from the early 2000s. As I've said earlier, I am now the proud owner of 24 of these books, which is most of them, I think. I found somebody just trying to get rid of their kids' old ones on eBay, and I was just like, no, they're mine. They're mine now. Those are reading streams. Oh, it was a while ago. Okay. I was like, oh no, are you like dealing with the repercussions of having the wisdom teeth out now? Alright guys, so it's time to solve the mystery. Back at Bob and Larry's, and yes, I am still thinking about VeggieTales. Yikes, you say, what an exciting mystery. It's a little scary to think about the idea that a pterodactyl might still be out there, flying around. Does sound kind of cool, though. I learned nothing from Jurassic Park. I was like, wow, that's a real cool place. But you're still glad the gang figured out who stole the eggs. I'm sure they figured out who the pterodactyl wasn't real either. Avery talks about mysteries, yes. Yeah, this is 2001. I hope I said the actual... These are all early 2000s, and this is specifically 2001. I think they were all written in pretty rapid succession of each other. Much like the Goosebump novels. It was a tough one, Fred said. But we solved it. How about you? Do you think you know do you think you know who the thief was? Think about it, Velma says. Look over my notes in the Clues Keeper and think about each of the suspects you met. Which of them has the best reason for stealing the eggs? Mr. Dark, I'm sorry. I have to put you on a 2-week ban. I apologize. It's too much. We'll reevaluate after that. It's too. I'm in my villain arc. I'm so sorry. Now I feel bad, but yeah. There's me build in a future. Wait. Tipsy Ellery is mean to sober Ellery. Oh. Nice eBay haul. Wait. Just agreed. Playing a charisma build in a future D&D campaign. Sober me is gonna kick his own ass in the morning. Sober Ellery is gonna be, damn it, man. It's like the time that I Unsolved Mysteries hosted by Avery Vandenhouten. It's Vandenhouten. You're around today by sheer luck. Yeah. Clue Keeper would be a great name for the Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys Detective Agency. Clue Keeper, yes. Yeah, timing out Maddie was an accident. This one. Yeah, this one's just been a lot. Yeah, my last name is Vandenhouten. It's on my channel banner because no one knows how to spell it, so I can just direct them there and be like, yep. Welcome back, That Word Junior. Nice eBay haul. I'm gonna guess culprit based on name. Sounds fair. Yeah. Vandenhouten. Yep, that's my name. Oh, you don't understand. I agreed to play a bard, which means I have to actually perform in character, so much regret already. Oh my gosh. Natasha is always a bard. That is just like her character type of choice. She just, which makes sense. Natasha has bard energy, but yeah, I've never been a bard because I'm like, I don't know if I could pull off a bard. Maybe one day. Who are the suspects? Okay, guys, let's review our suspects. Suspects. The crime, by the way, is stolen valuable pterodactyl eggs, irreplaceable. We have Dr. Sharkey, who is the lead paleontologist. I still say it's that shark. Yeah, Dr. Sharkey is the lead paleontologist. He does not like that we are... He basically is worried that this museum is being turned into a tourist trap. That's kind of what museums are. They're there for the public. He doesn't like that. So he's angered by it. He's also been very suspicious. We'll get into that. We also have Mr. Walker, who found the pterodactyl... Or not pterodactyl. Yeah, he found the dinosaur. That one dinosaur skeleton. And he's not employed here at all. He's just being... He's just kind of skulking around, which honestly, I don't think it's him because whoever, I'll get to it. But yeah, we have him, and then we also have Ms. Mulvaney, who I believe we can already rule out because of one of the clues that we found. She is the rival, she is the curator for the rival, or the director for the rival museum. So the motive should be scientist dude who works there doesn't like that we're selling out. Words are hard. Mr. Walker is upset that he never got paid for his find, so he might want revenge. And then Ms. Mulvaney is the competition, so she wants us to go out of business. Create Nightbot and another robot after you in Fallout 4. Thank you. Love that. Yeah. I promised to sing sea shanties reworded to be about space. I can't sing at all, LMAO. That's funny. That's really funny. Let's see. All right, so we have, sorry, it's on a delay. I'm distracting myself with my own feed. So our clues were, we found part of the egg. Mr. Walker tripped over it. That's his alibi anyway. That's his story anyway. We found footprints that were sneakers and cowboy boots, which means Mr. Walker for the boots, because he's a cowboy in every sense of the word. He's basically if Texas became a person. And we also had sneakers, which would denote the paleontologist, because the lady, Ms. Mulvaney, was wearing heels. So I think we rule her out based on that. Also, when we found the eggs, we eventually found the eggs, they were locked away in a display case, which tells me that you needed a key. So that means the only employee, which would be the paleontologist, I think is them. Yeah, we're all thinking Dr. Sharkey at this point. Sounds like it's an awful 80s wrestling gimmick. So, fun story, the next of these books that I'm going to read, the next is called The Case of the Wrestling Ghost. It's all about them solving a case during a wrestling tournament. I'm very excited. I love that. I promised to sing sea shanties reworded to be about space. Okay. Now think about the clues you found, adds Daphne. Which of the suspects might have left those clues? Try to eliminate any suspects who could not have left the clues, Fred says. That might help. And have another scoop of ice cream, Shaggy suggested helpfully. I always do my best thinking on a full stomach. Ooh, I have ice cream in the house. I think I'm going to go get ice cream when the stream is done. I always do my best thinking on a full stomach. He jumps up to go to the counter. I'll get you one if you want. What flavor? What's everybody's ice cream flavor of choice? Mine, if I'm doing 2 scoops, mine is mint chocolate chip and chocolate fudge together. That is my go-to. Or just regular chocolate. I'm not picky. But if you had to pick one, what's your favorite? And I zoned out of the story. I've been having a great time in chat. That's cool. I honestly love that. You need to concentrate. Nothing for now, Shaggy, you say. Okay, Book Us. Mystery Incorporated Us has a resolve that I don't think I'd have. Coffee, ice cream for the win. Yes, coffee's good. Mix of cookies and cream and chocolate for me. Nice. Bland, I like chocolate and vanilla. It's good. Sometimes, like, vanilla bean. Sometimes I'm like, I just want the vanilla bean ice cream. It's so good. Nothing for me now, Shaggy, you say. You need to concentrate if you're going to solve this mystery. So we're like, everybody shut up. I'm thinking. I'm going to solve this mystery. I'm the most valuable, I'm the MVP of the Mystery Incorporated team. Go ahead and check all your notes. We'll tell you who the thief was. Wait, go ahead and check all your notes, says Daphne. Then when you're ready, we'll tell you who the thief was. Have you decided who stole the pterodactyl eggs? God damn it. When you think you know, turn the page and find out if you've solved the case of the terrifying pterodactyl. I feel like every one of these books, it's going to have to be a drinking game for, like, whatever the title word is. Yay. Okay. With Cameron, it's gotta be so... Yes. Vanilla powder. Nice. Nice. I know I have Dr. Sharkey. Yeah, are we all in agreement? Dr. Sharkey, the paleontologist, definitely did it. Which kind of is weird, right? Because it would put his own job at risk, but I guess he's just that, like, morally outraged. I do a mixing bowl with either vanilla or something peanut butter. Nice. Gotta be soft serve, yeah. Note to self, non-alcoholic beverages for future reading streams. Oh god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Ellery. Please don't stop watching the streams. Imagine if we're wrong. If we're wrong, I'm gonna laugh so hard. A group of grown-ass adults just like, yo, we can't solve the children's book. Alright, are we ready? Are we ready to see? I'm gonna turn the page. This feels like the monster at the end of this book. Don't you turn that page! I'll do the Price is Right thing and go with the audience. Yeah, always succumb to peer pressure. That's what the Price is Right taught me. I would have to kill my liver before I'd stop watching these streams. Oh, thank you. That means so much. Please don't kill your liver. We lose to a children's book. LOL. LOL. Cameron did it. No, I believe in Cameron. All right, let's see. 3, 2, 1. Who did it? Were we right? It was Dr. Sharky! We were right. We outsmarted the children's book. The mystery revealed. He stole the eggs so he could do experiments with them. He actually managed to create a real pterodactyl from one of the eggs, but he won't reveal how he did. What? 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 Hang on. I gotta run that one back. Give me a second. Give me a second. Children's book 0, chat 1. Nice. Holy shit, it's a real monster? I'm with you. I need a minute. I need to process. He Jurassic Parked this bitch. Yes. We are smart adults. Yes, do it. I like that there was a little piece in all of us. It was like, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we don't know. All right, I'm going to read that again. It was Dr. Sharky, Velma tells you. He stole the eggs so he could do experiments with them. He actually managed to create a real pterodactyl from one of the eggs, but he won't reveal how he did it. Jurassic Parked it, and then he Penn and Tellered it. He was like, I can't tell you. I can't tell you how I did it. What kind of monster unleashed styling science is going on in this book? I have no idea. We were all right. Dr. Sharky was sus from the beginning. It couldn't have been Mr. Walker, because he didn't know a thing about dinosaurs. He wouldn't even have known which eggs to steal, Daphne adds. And it wasn't Ms. Murgatroyd, Shaggy says. She was like a museum director, not a scientist. Well, that's true, but also her footprints weren't there, and also neither one of them would have had keys that Dr. Sharky had. But yeah, I see where you're going with it, I guess. Jurassic Park. Interesting. Okay, I'm tipsy, but like, I did hear this is Jurassic Park prequel, right? I wasn't hallucinating my drunken. No, he was like, no, it's a real pterodactyl. We were right, but we were still thrown off the horse with the reveal, right? We were right, but we were still shocked. We figured out it had to be Dr. Sharky, because he was a scientist and the only person who had the keys to open the diorama. There's that, yeah. I wasn't thinking real dinosaur. Yeah, I would have probably thought he was more guilty then. We were right, but at what cost? I'm gonna lose sleep over this tonight. Oh my god, I'm just feel like it was a real pterodactyl. Did M. Night Shyamalan write this? He could come up with a twist like this. I would love to find out that all of the Scooby Doo and You books, or Scooby Doo and You are written by M. Night Shyamalan. The professor must have been happy to have the case solved, you said. He was, said Daphne, but now his curator is going to jail. Harsh. I think he may ask Ms. Murgatroyd to come run the museum with him. What about the pterodactyl, you ask? Fred shrugs. Professor Peabody thinks it probably found its way to the deepest, darkest jungle it could find. Away from any humans. There's no way we could find it again. So we'll just let it live its life in peace. So there's just a rogue pterodactyl out there. What the hell, guys? What have we done? A flying reptile. Right. It's not a dinosaur. I correct myself. This has so many ramifications, right? What happens to the poor bastard that comes across the pterodactyl? What do they think? What, does science not have any questions? The ecological damages to the unprecedented science, right? Wow, you say, that's some story. You all worked hard to solve that mystery. Like, that's no joke, Shaggy says. And I worked up an appetite, too. How about it, Scooby? Are you ready to try all the flavors we missed last time around? Ruby, Ruby, Roo, says Scooby with a huge grin. I need a minute. I need a minute. I need a minute. There's just a fucking pterodactyl out there in the Scooby Doo universe, right? I only have one question. Where the fuck did the star right? Where are the star throwing ninja lizards? That's my question. This is what leads up to Jurassic World domination. Crossover. It's a crossover. I need a minute. It was a real pterodactyl. It was a real pterodactyl. It wasn't like a machine. It wasn't rigged up with anything. It wasn't a it was a real pterodactylus. Pterodactylus? Pterodactylus. It was a real pterodactylus. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, Dominion. Sorry, I misread that. So, ... I have so many questions. I feel like science should have so many questions. That happened. Yeah, it was a real dinosaur. Or not dinosaur. Real pterodactylus. Flying reptile. It was that. I am not sober enough for this plot twist. Writers drink a lot. Apparently, Scooby Doo writers definitely did in 2001. Oh my god. I did not see that one coming. I like that we were right, but also we had no idea what was coming. I do like that these books are perfectly length to read in, like, a normal length stream. I mean, there was that one time that I wrote Call for Help completely drunk and barely remember writing it, and definitely don't remember sending it to my entire team, and then woke up the next morning to a bunch of messages that were like, yay, when are we gonna film this? And I was like, oh god, do I even want to film this? Seems short. It's like 60 pages. All these books are like 60 to 70 pages, which makes them absolutely perfect for streams like this, because that's about as much as we can read on one stream. So they're perfect for books like... I can't wait to read all these Goosebump books. But they're probably, if I had to guess, going to be at least a couple of streams for each book, which is fine. But it is nice to have some that we can just kind of read. Singularly. This is way too deep for kids, right? I don't remember this. I don't remember any of this. I feel like I should remember there being just an actual pterodactyl in the Scooby Doo universe. Trying to imagine reading this as a child, but my adult brain can't process it. So let me... what I do remember about reading it as a child, I remember I read a bunch of them in like a week or two one summer for the summer reading challenge at the library. I remember we had a big tree in our front yard that I insisted on climbing and sitting up at the top and reading, which felt like I was super high up, but actually it probably was like not a very big tree, but it just felt that way probably. My mom hated when I did that because she was like, you're gonna fall and kill yourself. So I would climb up to the top of this tree in our front yard and read these books. And how I must have read this, because I remember this cover. I know I read this one. How I read this and didn't fall out of that tree out of shock is beyond me. I don't know. Why can't all books be that long? Right? It's just a good little... We read for a couple of hours, we take some notes, we talk about cases, we feel like we solved it because it's technically self-insert fan fiction. Glad I tagged along with you guys. I'm glad you tagged along with us too. Even with the bizarre twist, I'll look forward to the next Scooby Doo and you stream soon. Peace out, peeps. Bye! Yeah, so this stream did exceedingly well. I was not sure how this stream was going to go. I was like, everybody's either going to love this idea or hate it. Regardless, I am determined to read all these books on stream. We had like 22 concurrents like before I even started reading, and that was really, really fun. So this has been one of the most successful streams, I think. So thank you guys. My brother and I used to climb trees and read too. Yes, that was my favorite thing to do. Why don't we watch Sea Monsters, a prehistoric adventure? Oh gosh. I would, but I am running on 3 hours of sleep, so I feel like I should get off sooner than later, but I will keep that in mind for a different time. So what's next? How to eat fried earthworms. What's next? Let's see. Well, I don't think I'm going to stream tomorrow. I don't think. If I change my mind, I guess everybody will know, but because I have family coming into town on Thursday, so I'm gonna be, which I'm super excited about, and I don't want to be recording while they're here, so I'm gonna do some block recording tomorrow. So I think that's my tomorrow. I do have to sleep at some point. I think the next time we do stream, though, assuming that we do another Scooby one. Next up. Oh gosh, there's so many on this. There's so many here. They're all coming out. No, I wanted to show everybody the next one. The Case of the Wrestler's Ghost. Let's go to desk cam. Still getting used to this. It's a Power Thursday. Anybody gonna watch? Ooh, I didn't even know that. I used to have a 2-story playhouse and my grandfather built for me, and I used to read on the rooftop. Aw, so cute. Trees can support a person. How many total? I have 24 of them. I think that's most of them, if not all of them. But yep, this is the next one. The Case of the Wrestler's Ghost. I can't imagine what the twist is going to be. Scooby Doo and the gang can't wait to see the big wrestling match. Good guy Babyface Foster battles bad guy Simon Blackheart. When a creepy ghost kidnaps Babyface, it's up to Scooby Doo and the gang to solve a kidnapping? A kidnapping. A kidnapping. Invite the family to stream if they wanted to. Absolutely. If they were like, hey, let's stream, I'd be like, let's stream right now. We'll do a family. We'll do like family game night on stream. That would be fun. Only you can help them do it. A ghost kidnapping. Not like a kidnapping of a ghost, but wrestling. Sorry, folks. Can't help you there with questions. Yeah, that's Paul's time to shine. Yeah, I'm very excited. Yes, I'm glad that everybody's excited about this like me. Nobody in my life understands why I was so excited to find these. I'm like, you don't understand. No one remembers these. They're an obscure, near obsolete part of Scooby-Doo history, and I love them. It was a real pterodactyl. It was, I'm gonna lose sleep. I'm not, 25 years of life, and I don't know how to process this. Kidnappings and real pterodactyls in the Scooby-Doo universe is wild. This was like the Wild West of Scooby-Doo, apparently. I think I made the great find. I think by cataloging these on the internet, I'm doing future generations a favor. When was this written? This was 2000. This was written the year before. This was before the pterodactyl. So who knows what they were getting up to. Shelf. There we go. Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me. There we go. I'm way too close to the microphone. Okay. A ghostly figure kidnaps an up-and-coming star. He's there, the Phantom of WrestleMania. Yes. Watch the next one be, well, that was a real wrestler, case solved. It could be. I mean, if the bad guy is the rival wrestler, I feel like that's what we're supposed to think anyway. Wow, yeah, the Scooby-Doo universe is wild. Scholastic books, good memories. They need to be preserved. Yes, I have been collecting, I've got these, and then I've been also collecting via eBay and thrift shops and all that stuff. I've been finding some resales of some old Goosebumps books, and I even found some that were like first edition print, so I'm really excited about it. Those will be fun to read. But yeah, apparently, I think we found a hidden gem with this serial. I'm excited. Um, so yeah, I'll end the stream here and let you guys process that on your own. I feel bad leaving everybody with this information. I've been thrown. This writer's room. Imagine those writer's rooms. We had kidnapping last time. What's next? Real pterodactyls? What? Does anybody have any better ideas? Nope, write it up. Do you think when they finished writing that book, do you think, I mean, one writer is credited, but I wonder if there were multiple people working on it. But, like, I wonder if it was just, like, I wonder if she was, like, at her deadline. Like, deadline is tomorrow. It's 11:30 at night. And it's just, like, she's just like, oh, God, I need to get this into my boss. Like, I need to do this. And then, like, it's just, like, she's like, how do I end it? Like, how do I explain this pterodactyl? It's just a real fucking pterodactyl. Write that one up. Reading Rainbow together on stream. If that's something I can watch on stream, then yes, I think that would be very fun. Heard worse, rest up, enjoy your family time. See you soon. See you soon. I'm actually going to post a video. I literally have a video waiting to be posted. I'm going to post it like as soon as I get off stream. I'm going to send it live. It was supposed to go up this afternoon, but of course it did not. And oh good, I get to have monetization on. So keep an eye out for that if anybody wants to see more of my face at 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, I will see you guys soon. I'm curious, are you aware of the CD-ROM Scooby Doo mystery games from the early 2000s? I am. I have already tried to download one onto my computer, and I'm having trouble getting it to run on my computer, so I need to see if I can do some finagling, because I would also like to play those on stream. Horror monster and What's New Scooby Doo that was real, and it was just written off as a real animal. Oh gosh, I forgot about that. Get LeVar Burton. Oh god, we're not cool. Like, we're not important enough for LeVar Burton, but that would be the dream come true, wouldn't it? Someone was all, yeah, the commotion disturbed it. It's like, okay. Played them as a kid. Had a hard time. Oh. Yeah, I would love to play them on stream. I'll have to keep working to see if I can get them going. I remember having a Scooby Doo plug and play too. I don't remember anything else about it other than it was a Scooby Doo plug and play. I'll need to see if my mom still has it. I feel like it's a Nancy Drew author is a team situation. Yeah, I feel like it's a team too. All these books have various writers, like one writer each, but different ones credited. But I would assume because it's a big corporation that they're hiring a writer's room. Sorry, if you're out there and you were the sole mastermind behind the case of the Terrifying Pterodactyl, I don't mean to downplay your genius. Yeah, the one that I'm trying to download on my computer is the Egyptian, the one in Egypt. The one about the mummy curse or whatever it's called, the pharaohs something. That's what I was trying to download. But yeah, we'll work on it. We'll see if I can get it. But yeah, I'll let you guys go here. I'll post that video. It's a Sailor Moon video if anybody's interested in that. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. I'll see you next time. What was my first Halloween costume? I think my first Halloween costume, I was a princess, and I made my little brother, who was like 5 at the time, be the pea. So we were the princess and the pea, and it was kind of adorable. Yeah, bye everyone. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you supporting these harebrained ideas that I have for stream, because it makes me very happy. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Good night.